Hello my fine feathered friends, I'm Songbird. Welcome to my building vlog, where I'll take you along with me while I work on an Ark building project so we can learn together and watch the project take shape from the ground up. Today I'm continuing work on my biggest collab project yet. If you're a new viewer, welcome! The short version of the bigger overall project is that I'm building stuff for a big charity live stream featuring much bigger Ark creators Aaron Longstaff and Ross Clark. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back, and let's just get right into today's project. Here's a sneak peek of what we will be working on today. By the end of this video, this is what is going to take shape. I'm really happy with how this tower turned out. You want to know how we made it look like this and how all that came to be? Keep watching. Probably going to get rid of these bridges for now and do some of this differently, I think. But yeah, I think I'm going to build this. I was trying to think of how to connect this to the building up there. And at first I was going to do bridges all the way around, but you know what? That would be a long walk and nobody's got time for that. So I think instead I'm going to make this into a tower. And then once the tower has a floor that's about the same level as this, then I can build a bridge across that way. So that's kind of what I'm thinking in regards to that. Okay, I'm going to pick these up because I'm going to do something different here. So I don't want these bridges here. You can't use the gun on the cliff platforms, which is a really good feature, so you don't accidentally with one click pick up your cliff platform and destroy your entire base. Ask me how I know. Instead, you've got to slowly do it through the radial like that. Okay, and this one I'll leave for now. I might end up using that, but I want to make this into more of a tower. And the fact that it's got this funky floor design is making it so that it's kind of interesting to try to get a doorway onto there. So I'll definitely need to do some more playing around with it, because I really like that floor design. I want to use that, but I may need to use it for more of a gazebo type thing. That is actually one nice thing about gazebos. Those were the first circle structures I learned how to make, and I'm definitely going to be making a video soon on how to make gazebos, because they're really nice for experimenting with different ways of doing circles, because you don't have to worry about the walls so much. But as far as for a tower, how do I want to do this? Let's use the ASR pieces since they have more options. All right, going into Ghost, which is a way to save time when you need to look at something underneath. Okay, so the pillars that are supporting the structure and creating the circle are in the middle. That's right. Okay, that's lined up with that. So I was curious about how the triangle ceilings snap to this, if there are other options. Okay, so it will point different directions. So when I did this, I see based on what is down below. Okay, yeah, I went this way with it. I think let's double check, drop a wall from it and see. Just make sure that it lines up. No, that does not appear to be right. How did I do this? Grab the wall again and snap it to the side of our triangle so we can clearly see the angles that we had. And then we can snap pillars to these. See, there's kind of a line on one end of the pillar that can help you make sure that they're all oriented the same direction. All of these were snapped this way, but what I'm wondering is what would happen if I instead snap a layer of them the other direction. Could I do that and essentially kind of balance out the walls in that way? I think maybe I can. So let me pick these up and then I should be better able to show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, since the main thing I need from these pillars is just the snap point, but I don't want them to obstruct the view of this cool pattern we made in the middle. I'm gonna pick those up. Let's put down the walls again. We're going to put the walls all the way around just to make sure we get all of the angles correct, because that's going to be important. And I need it with the edge that is pointing inward like that. That's the one where it should have the pillar at that end.
It can be tricky to keep track of all of the different snap points once you start meshing things together in ways they were not meant to be meshed, but kind of enjoy the challenge. Not now, most of the time. Anybody who's watched any of my building streams knows that I get mad at snap points quite often. Come on now. You're almost there. Come on, you had it. There, that's the one. All right, so I'm going to put these all the rest of the way around, and then I'll bring you right back. It seems these snap easier actually if I'm farther away. And now I'm going to grab this and I'm going to turn it. Oh, wrong button. Not R to cycle variant. You need T to cycle the different textures and so on. So I'm going to do these in thin blocks. Okay. I want this to be really grand. So I think we'll go up another wall height. Yes. All right, and now let's try kind of what I had in mind and see if it works. It might not, but we will never know unless we experiment. Okay, so before these were all snapped that way, instead we're gonna go a different direction. Come on now. That's correct, I think. So this should make a circle that's angled like they're buzzsaw sort of arrangement like we did before, but it should be angled the opposite direction. To see if we succeeded at that, let's try dropping a pillar down from the corner. Yes, okay, so it doesn't match up with this, so that shows that it is going at a different angle, which is what we wanted. Very good. So I'm very curious what will happen if we do this. So let's give it a whirl. Okay, greenhouse ceilings. And we also need the glass triangle ceiling. I'm just going to use the same ones, at least for now, just to help me see what I'm doing here. Make sure that I get it the same. Okay, now they were... Okay, I see how they were snapped. They were essentially the opposite of this. So this should be the opposite, like so. And then also snap to the edge of those is the Linger greenhouse one. And go the opposite direction with this one too, like so. And then essentially fill this in. And fill in the edges of the pattern like this. Let's see kind of what this does. Oops, down below there. And if we can use this to make the walls feel a little bit more symmetrical. I don't know if this is making any sense to anybody at all, or if it just looks like I'm doing random weirdness. But yeah, we'll see how it works out. Okay. Do I want to use the same texture or something different? I think I'm going to pick up the pillars at the corners of a few of these just so I can kind of see what I'm doing. And then, yeah, let's use a different texture. So if you're good at pattern recognition, that will definitely help with this. Okay, so it is still lining up. Interesting. But it's lining up differently because down below, that's where I have the quarter ceilings. And the quarter ceilings would be different in this one. Okay, let's see what it looks like with the quarters. Because the quarters I used to fill in like here, I think, down below, didn't I? Thought that I did. Nope, it looks like I used them just to fill in the width of the walls. Well, you know, if that's going to be three quarters wide, I could also do this. Let's see how that would turn out. That is so interesting. Now, even though I tried to do it the opposites, and yeah, it is opposite, somehow it still worked. Somehow it's still lined up. Okay, well, one thing I wanted to test with this, because of how difficult it would be to get stairs into a structure like this, is let's take a look at those wall and floor decor elevators. And it does come in all of the other ceiling variants as well, but you know, if you have stained glass, why not use stained glass? Okay, there is a triangle version. So if I use that down there, and then more or less directly overhead is this one, I think. It might not be lined up well enough. We'll see. Yeah. What is that message is popping up? No matching. Okay. Yeah, so I will need to line them up in order for the triangle elevators to work. Oh well, it was an interesting experiment, but I think it's not worth the trouble, and I think I'm going to do it differently. No sense making problems for my future self in places where I don't really need to or see the benefit. I'll leave one layer of pillars there in case I do decide to come back and do something with pillars in the middle. I think the best way probably to deal with this odd doorway shape is probably just going to be to embrace it as character and keep it as more of an open archway. So, because what would happen if I tried to I could put a double doorway in there. Okay, yeah, that works. That ought to do it. Okay. And there's a few different things I could do with these. One thing I need to do is let's switch to a structure variant that doesn't have the wood on it. Frameless. That's what we want. That will make these blend together a lot better because it won't be as obvious what is a quarter and what is a full wall. It will just kind of all blend together into nice smooth stone like that. Yes. I like that. Okay, and then we're gonna let's switch this. Do I want to keep it on the default texture? I might want to change it to one of the block textures like that, or brick. I don't like the brick. Let's do the brick. Just kind of looks a little bit smoother and simpler, not as busy as the base stone can look when it's covering a large area. And this bottom layer, I don't want it to have windows, actually. I have ideas in mind for what it will be used for. Ideas which are top secret for now. What I'm thinking I'm gonna do, since we've got the interesting situation of a wall that is 1.5 walls wide here, let's switch. I want to try to make some like tall, thin windows up on the wall. Let's see what this would look like. Just do a few and then, oh, I do like the look of that. There's more than one way to do this, of course. I think what I'm probably going to have to do is clip the ASR stone glass wall through this and then hide the frame or something. This guy, like this. But then, oh, this is the different patterns of the actual glass. Oh, and you can make it. I should have thought that they would do this. There's different block types in the frame too. Okay, and different window designs. Okay, so that is just the window design. That is not the actual glass. So let's glass settings. That's what we want. Okay, so we have all of these different stained glass patterns. I want to pick a nice stained glass pattern, something that's not too loud. This one might be nice. Lattice diagonal, lattice diamond, lattice circles. I like that there's so many different options in the lattice ones. Chevrons, geometric. Usually if I want a more classic stained glass look, I go for either the roses, the day, or the night. The night is kind of nice. You can also change the size of the pattern, which is kind of fun. And you can change the opacity. No, let's do this side. And this must be the inside. Yep. So we can change it so that it's one-way glass as well, which is kind of fun. I was kind of hoping for something that would coordinate with that though. Let's see. Let's just try one of these for now. I do want to be able to see out. Okay, so that is one option. And then in order to make it coordinate better with the clinger stuff as well, I would snap in some of these. Ooh, yeah, I could make these basically be like the frames of the window. You just do not want to cooperate, do you? Well, there's more than one way to make you cooperate. Let's give you another snap point up above and then see if that clues you in on what we're trying to do here. Just really don't like that. Oh, it's because it's halfway through, but there is a snap point here because of the quarter walls. Let's try. If I put in a full ceiling, will that clue you in? There. Now you've got a full ceiling to snap to the corner. That. No, you just don't like that at all. What if it's a clinger ceiling? Sometimes they'll cooperate if it's from the same mod. Just have to cycle variants like that. Okay, well, what if I give in and snap you there? And oh, now you'll do that, because of course you will, because you're just going to be a pain in the butt. See how you are? Well, what would happen if I pick up, you just won't target those too many snap points. Well, what about if I pick up, no, why won't you target the pillars? Now, if I pick that up, you should still be supported by those quarters. Yes, okay, now we can target you. Now let's see if we can get you to do what I'm trying to get you to do. Okay, sometimes you have to put pieces on in a particular order, and it looks like this might be one of those times. Just have to try to figure out what order it wants us to do it in. You and Klinger Rustic just do not like each other very much, do you? Very strange. There. Without the glass there, you're fine with it. And then can we put the glass in this way? It looks like we should be able to. Oh, it had borderless there. Borderless, that's what we want. There's a little gap between, but let's hope it won't be very noticeable. Copy. It's not super noticeable, but if it bugs me, I can always do this. Come on now. Well, makes a good windowsill at the bottom, I guess. Ooh, pillars do like snapping to other pillars, so this may actually really help. Going through all of this just because I need some of that color up on the wall to kind of continue the same color scheme. And actually, also in order to continue that color scheme, I should probably do, come on, can you open the menu for me? No, thin block. Can I change it, please? That's actually what I mean. Thin slab. That will match that texture on the floor, or I could just change this texture on the floor, since that is a thing that can be done as well. I might want to just do the borderless because I still have the orange wood there and I don't want to have to paint everything. I try to avoid painting everything. You know, I use paint here and there as an accent, but if you use a lot of paint, it does tend to add to lag, and it takes a lot of time to do it. So if there are other ways to accomplish the same goal, then that's what I usually prefer to do. Oh, okay, that is still there. Okay, there's a little bit of weirdness where they over. There you go. No, I don't want to make the pattern too complex. Let's see what this looks like if we change it to a stained glass pattern. Let's try this one maybe. Make it opaque. Now, what would that look like? Yeah, that won't really look weird or anything if it's layered. Definitely has potential. This looks a little too busy for my taste, I think. Let's try a different idea. I kind of like the glass. Looks a little bit laggy when I move, which could be a deal breaker. We shall see. But let's try this. Okay. If I was to do this and then this, how would that look? That might look kind of cool. What do you think? Let's do large block for this. That is interesting. It's getting confused by the fact that there's the glass below it there. Large block. See? It's not so hard. Try to click on it on the side that's farthest away from the stained glass. Yeah, that's way too busy looking though. But I did not mean to do that. There are two clipped through each other here. I do not know how I managed to do that. It was very strange. Okay, yeah, the stained glass is too laggy. We'll use a little bit of stained glass. Maybe really careful how I use it because of the laggy appearance of it. But that's not the modder's fault. I think that's based on the base game glass because the base game glass does the same thing. Okay. What's another way of doing something like this? I want to have a fun pattern that shows off the shape of the floor here. I could just use some default stone like this, and it makes the pattern a little bit more subtle, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. What if I use just one? Actually, could I do two of these? Well, sometimes the clinger pieces don't want to mesh through each other, but okay, these ones are cooperating pretty good. Probably because they're snapped to different things. Oh, these ones aren't even replacing the glass underneath. Interesting. Yeah, let's pick up that. Is that too busy? probably wouldn't be too busy over here since the rest of the pattern is more subtle. I don't like that. That could be fun. Also a subtle pattern, but one that's a little bit more noticeable. Like that, I think. Doesn't call too much attention to itself, but it's definitely there. We'll roll with that for now. What the heck is going on here? Oh, we got a little bit of flickering going on. Have to keep an eye on that. Okay, and I think I don't need these here. There. What? This pattern is not consistent. It's a little bit messed up here. What's going on with it? There's one missing here. Oh, had it for a second. Yeah. Those all look the same now. Okay. Maybe so it doesn't all get covered up. Maybe I should use the standing torch instead. That's good. I kind of prefer the vanilla texture. I think that looks good. And let's go around and do the rest of these windows, but we're going to have to remove. We don't actually need to have glass in here. There. Let's do something like that. There's the half. Dang it. I was looking for that. Okay, that's perfect. That's what we needed here. This is why it pays to know all the things that are in the mods you're using. If I had known that was there, I could have saved like an hour. Yes, I like that for the sides. And then we can also, for the top, something like maybe this. This is a piece that I know is in here. This one. Okay, now if I put... Now, can I make this cooperate? I can. I'm probably going to want to go another layer up, though. Make this 3 quarter walls high, maybe. That is cool. I'll leave that there so that I remember that that's an option, because otherwise, out of sight, out of mind. And then let's just go through and do this. Okay, now we're not going to be able to have windows here because of the weirdness here with getting a door in there. Wow, the thunder on the center is... I'll tune more of the details of the outside later. For now, let's go roll into fast build mode and get these walls up.
So this was quite a long building session. I was probably building for 5 or 6 hours on this particular day, and it got pretty late. I got pretty tired, so I started talking less and less as the night went on. I'll include enough of the building footage to give you an idea of what I was doing without making it too incredibly long. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to leave those in the comments, and I will do my best to answer those. But yeah, just enjoy the music, and yeah, there will be less and less talking as the video goes forward. And now it's really late when I'm editing this, and so yeah, I'm too tired to do a ton of voiceover right now either. So yeah, just enjoy.
Yeah, I like that better. And also put it up a little bit. It's probably a better idea. That works, I think. That looks kind of cool and magical. Yes, I like that. This room will probably make Aaron break out in hives, though, because of how everything is wonky. Let's go higher. How high are we gonna need to go? Oh, just out of curiosity, what would it look like if I did this? Something like that. It's kind of interesting. But no, one thing I could do, eventually, oops. Ooh, I like that too. too. Okay, that is also a thing that can be done. These things really prefer to snap to a ceiling, don't they? Yes, they do. I like that. That could be cool up at the very top. Yes. Okay, I like that idea. There we go. That works. I like it. I like it a lot. Make this look like it's a little better supported. Nice. I may end up getting rid of that door entirely. Just having the door up here. Yes, I'll definitely do this up at the top. I love this. Keep that as a fun pattern, maybe. Ooh, I like that. Something like that. Ooh, I like that. It's kind of cool. Oh, that's going to be a problem. Yeah, that's not going to work. What happens if I do this and put steampunk skins on it? That doesn't look bad. I probably will get rid of this because I don't want to have to build anything out here. Let's do this carefully. Keep it simple, silly. This needs to be supported. Should be okay to pick that up. Put that up. Come on now. Need that dirty effect. Alright, I'm just going to repeat this pattern around the other side. This is not a half bit. That's the problem. There's one missing here. There. Alright, enough of this. Time for bed. Well, I didn't finish the roof on the other building, but I built a whatever the heck this is, and I think it turned out pretty cool. I have some plans for it for the stream, but of course you'll have to wait until then to find out exactly what this is for. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to hit the like button, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.